and welcome back to another video. Today here again on Gran Turismo 7 to take a very first look at the latest update, update 1.49, which brings with it 2 layouts of a returning track and 6 new cars, amongst other things. We also have the classic Eiger Nordwand, I think is a fictional circuit located in Switzerland. Which also brings with it some new events. We've got the Sunday Cup, the Jimny Cup, and the World Rally Challenge, which I think I might have to give a go in Colin McRae's Subaru at some point. But yeah, I absolutely loved this track, and I absolutely loved the Gallardo in Gran Turismo 6, so it's so good to see that return. There are also some new events in some of these, I think, as well, although I'm not sure which. And they've added the Gran Turismo Sophie artificial intelligence, the cleverer AI, to more things, apparently. As is often the case with Gran Turismo updates, there are some new scapes locations. To go with the new track, we have 10 scapes at the Eiger, all of which are very snowy. Over at the cafe, there is another extra menu book. If we scroll all the way to the bottom, they've added extra menu number 40 with 3 McLarens. So that's the kind of little bits and pieces that have arrived as part of update 1.49. But what about the cars themselves? Firstly, over in the used car dealership, we have 3 of them. Not only do we have the 1997 BMW M3, which costs 74,600 credits, but we also have an opportunity to get the 430 Scuderia at a slightly discounted price of 366,700 credits, and the Gallardo at a reduced price of 253,100 credits. Ordinarily, these would be available over in the brand central location, where you can also buy them at full price, and then also, of course, choose your spec. As well as that, though, over here we have the roof RGT, the second roof that's been added to the game, available for 360,000 credits in quite a selection of colours, as you would expect from roof. Then over at Lamborghini, we of course have that Gallardo, available for 260,000 credits here in Brand Central, and the Ferrari 430 Scuderia is, interestingly, the standard F430 is 243,200, and the Scuderia is 380,000 credits. There is one other vehicle here at Brand Central, and that is the Genesis Vision Gran Turismo, the racer version of it. We previously got the Berlinetta. Again, like any Vision Gran Turismo car, it's priced at 1 million credits, which leaves just one more vehicle, Colin McRae's Subaru rally car, available for, I think, a very reasonable 650,000 credits, making it not even the most expensive car in this update. So, as there's quite so many cars in this update, what I'm going to do is today, as well as giving you a sort of overview of what's in the update, we're going to take a look at the first 3 of the cars, which will be this BMW M3, Colin McRae's Subaru, and the Roof RGT. And then tomorrow I'll be back to take a look at the 2 lovely Italian supercars that are the 430 Scuderia and the Lamborghini Gallardo, as well as that Genesis Vision Gran Turismo car. First off, though, we've got to come and drive round the new circuit, or returning circuit, from Gran Turismo 5 or 6? I honestly get those 2 games mixed up. But anyway, one of the previous games quite recently had this, and it was incredible. Absolutely loved this track. Has a bit of a jump there. Doing this in the roof seemed like the right sort of car for it. We have this sort of hairpin section down the hill, where I would always crash into the somehow indestructible wooden fence posts. What a road, though. It's a better road than pretty much any open world map has. Why? So kind of, I think, loosely based off a real location, but there isn't a road course here, so... Absolutely loved this track. And there we go, that is one sort of medium speed lap of the new track in the Roof RGT. Rather surprisingly, every single vehicle here, apart from the Vision Gran Turismo car, can be quite heavily modified, including Colin McRae's Subaru, and most of them also have a wide body. The only ones that don't, apart from that Vision Gran Turismo, are Colin McRae's Subaru and the Roof RGT, because it sort of already has one. So I'm of course going to apply that straight away. Let's continue with the BMW then. There is some front aero options, including quite a large front splitter, some slightly different side options, and a rear diffuser, which is a bit over the top. There's also some interesting wing options, obviously wingless, Type A, Type B, and Custom, so I think I'm going to go with the larger Type A option. Then we have our usual bonnet pins, tow hook, and roll cage options. And of course we can change those to be cooler, and change the number plate, although it's a bit of a mess underneath there, so I'm going to leave that as it is, which is quite unusual. And we can also do the front grille, so we can block out the little lights there, block out some of the headlights as well, or block out the side lights and have the blue metal instead of the mesh. So I prefer the blue metal instead of the mesh, but I do quite like having those side lights. I think it looks better with them. So I'm actually going to leave that part standard. There is though one thing I forgot to do on this BMW, which is, as it's wide-bodied, it kind of needs some new wheels to, well, so that we can then bring out the width and stuff a bit. I think those are perfect. We'll bring them up to 18s, but not 19s, make them wide, and do that. Then they just fill the arches that much more nicely than they would previously. So I did think I'd take a quick look at the BMW manufacturer colours that I already have purchased in-game, and, well, there's some very nice ones. I particularly like this metallic green, so I'm going to put that on. Perfect. So now that the BMW is modified, I've brought it to the new track to compete in the European Sunday Cup 500. Let's see how it copes against some standard... The AI just crashed it. Let's try that again. Well, that puts me at a disadvantage. The steering locks, what? Why are you steering? It just keeps steering when I'm... What? I'm just gonna check if it's the same in... time trial, because I just drove the roof here and it was fine. I mean, the car's uncontrollable, but I think that's a separate issue. Steering seems fine now. What's a weird glitch? I think it's partly the car. I made it undrivable. Looks cool though. But yeah, I'm going to abandon this car. So on Colin McRae's Subaru, there is of course less customization, but there is still some customization. There's no wide bodies or engine swaps available, which kind of makes sense, but we can change the front to Type B to have the slightly extended splitter, or Type B with the carbon fibre splitter and sort of removal of the bit that holds the badge in place. So let's go with that for now. We also have an option to remove the mud flaps, but I don't know why you would do that, so I'm going to leave that alone. Under Other, we have the usual light bulbs and number plate options, but it's a kind of a shame to lose that one. And front grille, we can debadge it effectively, which kind of makes sense now that the support for the badge has been removed. As you may expect, there's not a lot we can do to the Subaru rally car. We can't upgrade any of these or reduce weight. We can change the gearbox. It will let us do that. And you may have just glimpsed something else. If we go back to the semi-racing tab, we can put a turbocharger on. So we can either put a low RPM turbocharger on, taking power from 299 horsepower to 627, or medium to 695, or a high RPM to, yes, 788 horsepower by fitting one thing. I think yes. 788 horsepower rally car versus dirt road. The noises. I was kind of regretting not driving this thing stock, but now I'm not. This is just... what a brilliant addition to the game. I just keep lifting off just so it does that. So the roof RGT, as I said, kind of already has a wide body, a sort of bolt-on kit, so there's nothing we can do there. However, there are some custom parts. We can put on an extended splitter, which I will do. We can make it so that the wide body isn't bolt-on, so the bolts are sort of covered up, which I actually prefer. Smooth it out a bit, make it look more like it's part of the car. At the rear we can, well, remove the carbon fibre diffuser exhaust cover bit, or remove it and then put a diffuser below it. But I actually think it looks a lot tidier as it is, so I'm not going to do that. And at the back, again, there's no custom wing sets. But we can make it wingless, which I quite like, with the little ducktail, or that. Now look at it. What a mad, mad car. We can, of course, also give it bonnet pins, so why not? And a tow hook in case we have a crash. No roll cages, though, probably because it already has one, I would imagine. We can, of course, also give it super cool headlights, and hopefully to a Type B rear-only number plate, and front grille allows us to remove those headlight washers and the badge and the vent. Sure, why not? Let's do that. We're going with a smooth look. We smoothed out the arches, we left the nice smooth diffuser on, and we've smoothed out that bit. Lovely. There are, of course, some incredible roof colours that we could repaint it, but I had plenty of choice of colour when I bought it, and I went for the green, so I think we stick with the green. Fully upgraded, I was able to get the roof up to 907 horsepower, and its weight down to 1,148 kilos, by doing, again, pretty much as I possibly can. So I've ended up maxing everything, which I'm not sure is a good idea, particularly. So we've got the conrods and pistons. Nothing here from Extreme. A few powery bits, brakey bits, suspension-y, flywheely bits from there. Most of the power coming from the high RPM turbocharger, which again you could fit to this. That brought it up to 800 and something just by doing that. I have done weight reduction as well, all the way to stage 3, and all of these other sort of powery bits. So now that the roof has 900 horsepower, what else could I do but bring it back to the tight, twisty road course that we drove it on when it was standard. Let's see, how it copes. It is ridiculously fast now. Oh, up, lifts the nose. About 140 over that. How can it get up to nearly 90 miles an hour there? Oh. Yeah, that's a wall I've visited many times. Actually, surprisingly, it handles the power a lot better than I thought it would. This thing's brilliant. This is actually brilliant. This may end up being my second favourite car from the update. The Gallardo is always going to be my favourite. And that is going to do it for today's video, taking a very first look at update 1.49 here on Gran Turismo 7, as well as a closer look at 3 of the cars that come with it. I will be back same time tomorrow to take a look at the Lamborghini Gallardo, the Ferrari 430 Scuderia, and the Genesis Vision Gran Turismo car. For now, though, that is going to be all, so do let me know your thoughts on this update. But for today's video, that's going to be all, so thank you very much for watching, and I will be back with the next one very soon.